Imagine this. You're enjoying a quiet evening when suddenly you're confronted by a threat. You're frozen in fear, feeling helpless. Let's rewind a bit. You see, there was a time when I was in your shoes. I was at the mercy of my girlfriend's ex-boyfriend, a threatening figure looming large in front of me. I could feel his hostility, his anger, and all I could do was stand there, frozen. The taste of fear was bitter in my mouth, and shame washed over me like a wave. I felt helpless, the kind of helplessness that gnaws at your very soul. That was a turning point for me. I vowed to never let myself be in that position again. I was determined to learn how to fight, to protect myself and those I cared about. I threw myself into training, exploring various martial arts, dedicating years of my life to mastering the art of self-defense. But the more I learned, the more I realized that the techniques I was learning in the dojo weren't translating to real-life situations. The rules and regulations of a controlled environment didn't apply when I was confronted with raw, unregulated violence. I discovered that the world of martial arts, while rich in tradition and discipline, was not wholly effective in dealing with the unpredictable nature of real-life threats. It was a startling realization, one that led me down a path of discovery. I realized that I needed to learn instinctive fight techniques, ones that are simple yet incredibly effective in dangerous situations. The kind of techniques that can give you the confidence and the skills to defend yourself when it matters the most. It was then I realized there had to be a more effective way to defend myself. Click the link in the description below this video to learn the fight skills you need in these uncertain times. Dedicated to never feeling helpless again, I delved deep into learning instinctive fight techniques. The journey was not easy, but it was transformative. As I stepped onto a path less trodden, I found myself studying not just the physical art of fighting, but the principles that underpin it. I trained rigorously, exploring various martial arts, from the discipline of karate to the fluidity of kung fu. However, I soon found that the moves and strategies taught in the dojo often fell short in real-world situations. This realization was a turning point. I knew I had to look beyond traditional martial arts and find methods that were simple, yet effective in dangerous situations. After years of relentless search and training, I discovered techniques that were instinctive, straightforward, and incredibly potent. These were not the flashy, choreographed moves you'd see in a regulated fight like MMA or boxing, but raw, primal techniques designed for self-defense. In a world that seems to be growing more violent by the day, these techniques are more relevant than ever. They are about survival, about standing your ground when the odds are against you. They are about turning fear into power, vulnerability into strength. With these techniques, I found the confidence I needed to feel safe. I was no longer the same person who felt helpless and terrified in the face of danger. I had transformed. And now, I want to share these techniques with you. I want you to experience the same transformation, the same empowerment. I want you to have the skills to protect yourself and your loved ones in these uncertain times. So don't wait. Click the link in the description below this video to learn the fight skills you need in these uncertain times. But don't just take my word for it. Hear from those who have benefited from these techniques. Let's start with Sarah, a single mother from New York City. She shares, "As a woman living in a big city, I often felt vulnerable, especially when walking home late at night. After learning these self-defense techniques, I feel safer knowing I have the knowledge and skills to protect myself if I ever need to." Next, we have Tom, a university student from Los Angeles. Tom tells us, "I used to get bullied a lot on campus. It was a nightmare. But after I started practicing these techniques, the bullies backed off. I guess they saw the newfound confidence in my eyes." And then there's Linda, a retired teacher from Chicago. Linda says, "I always thought self-defense was for the young and fit. But these techniques are so simple and instinctive, even at my age, I can execute them effectively. Now, I walk around my neighborhood without fear." We also hear from Mike, a business executive from Miami. Mike shares, "In my line of work, I often travel to unfamiliar places. These techniques have given me the confidence to face any situation. I am no longer an easy target." And finally, we have Emma, a freelance writer from Seattle. Emma tells us, "I was skeptical at first, but I gave it a try, and I'm glad I did. These techniques are not like the flashy moves you see in the movies. They are practical, easy to learn, and effective in real-life situations." These are just a few of the many testimonials from people who have benefited from these self-defense techniques. They come from all walks of life but share something in common. They all feel safer, more confident, and more empowered after learning these techniques. These are real people with real results. Click the link in the description below this video to learn the fight skills you need in these uncertain times. So, are you ready to take control of your safety and confidence? As we wrap up this journey, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned. We've delved into the story of a person who felt helpless, terrified, and utterly unprepared when confronted with a violent situation. He took a vow to never be in that position again, and dedicated years of his life to training in various martial arts. But the truth he uncovered was that most of the techniques he learned in the dojo were ineffective in real-life violent situations. This realization led him on a quest to discover simple, instinctive fight techniques designed not for regulated fights like MMA or boxing, but for self-defense in dangerous situations. These techniques are about survival, not sport. They're about empowering you to protect yourself and your loved ones when it matters most. In a world where we can no longer ignore the rise in violence, there's a pressing need for skills that can make us feel confident and safe. We've heard from those who've walked this path before, who've transformed their fear into power, their uncertainty into assurance. And now, it's your turn. You can choose to take control of your safety and confidence. You can choose to learn the fight skills that can make a world of difference in an uncertain situation. It's not about becoming a martial arts expert or a combat fighter. It's about learning the skills that can help you navigate through the unpredictable nature of life. So now, I invite you to click the link and start your journey towards self-confidence and safety. It's a journey of empowerment, a journey that begins with a single step. Visit the link in the description below this video to learn the fight skills you need in these uncertain times. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. And don't forget to leave a comment below letting me know what you think.